One of the coolest life hacks that you can do that will change your life and change your business is take control over your response to things that come in on your phone. Take control over the response to the notifications that come in on your phone. Don't be a victim to needing to check the phone all the time. Learn to turn off some of those notifications during the times that you're doing things. Learn to not check your phone first thing in the morning. These are things that I'm still working on myself. And I can tell you this, the moments when I've been most productive, gotten the most done in my business, I've had that structure to where I wasn't just responding and reacting emergency mode when things came in. And instead I was strategically having things on mute. I have my wife's number in the favorites and making sure that I'm controlling where my focus goes. Ultimately, where our focus goes is where our energy goes. And when we are building a business, we have a limited amount of energy that we can put into one thing or another. And so you have to choose, where are you going to put your energy? Are you going to put it into social media? Are you going to put it into notifications? Are you going to put it into thinking about responding to an email or thinking about something that somebody said? What happens is overwhelm is the result of our brain gets filled up with all of these ideas, all of these things that we're thinking about, and our minds are filled with pretty much just trash. They're filled with all of this trashy stuff that's spinning around all the time. So if you can set your life up to where you're not putting all of that stuff in there and it just coming at you all day long, you're strategically checking it when you need to, and then you can kind of brain dump it out, write some stuff down on a journal, write some things down on a piece of paper to prioritize your life. You're able to structure your life in a way that you have control over. Many of you are just subject to things as they come at you. And one of the biggest things that you could do to shift that is to turn off a lot of these notifications on these devices. That's one thing that you can do. And you might say, well, I need to make sure that if so-and-so needs me, well, then have a conversation with that person about this and about what might work best for them specifically. Ultimately, if you're living your life based on emergency off of other people, you may want to also redesign your life in a way that you're not living in that way, that other people are the ones deciding how you do things, deciding how you live your life. If you want to be a business owner that's going to grow to 6 and 7 figures, you're going to have to develop and design your life on your terms every single day, not based on what comes to and fro and tosses you to and fro. It's you're the one that structures and develops those things. And so I know this might be a stretch for some of you to do this, but this is an exercise that's going to radically change how you look at things, how you do things throughout the day. Don't check your phone for the first 30 minutes. Start there. Turn off the social media notifications. Start there. Maybe turn off the WhatsApp and the Messenger notifications. Start there. Eventually, you can get to the point where, like I did today, I turned off the notifications from pretty much everything. And also, I turned off the preview mode to where I'm not seeing the preview message that comes in. So I just see a message came in. And then I have a D&D function that I turn on and off when I'm doing my work. So stuff isn't coming in. If an emergency happens, my wife can get a hold of me. People know that they can get a hold of her. And I've not structured my life now to where I'm an emergency response technician. I'm not emergency response to everybody. I used to about 2 years ago. If something happened on a website, I was the only guy that could get it up. And I found a sense of self-worth even in being the only person that people could rely on for things. Ultimately, you got to get to the point where you're not the only person that can do things in your life. You're not the only person that can answer a call or do things. Find ways to structure your life to where that's not how you're living, that you're the only person that people can rely on. I know that feels good, like it makes us feel needed, right? And that's a very human thing. But you're not going to be able to grow a sustainable business by being the ultimately needed person in everything throughout your day. we'll talk more about that in some of my future videos. I think there's a lot of people where they're finding their self-worth in being needed and responding so quickly to things. And instead, we need to learn to structure our life to where, yes, we're needed, but on our terms, not on the terms of other people saying that they need us. Not structuring our life to where we're being pulled in 100 directions at once because everybody needs us. That's a choice. That's a choice to design your life that way. And it's a choice to design your life not to be that way. And over the last year or so, I've structured my life to where it's actually not that way. To where I can get up when I want, I can go where I want, I can do whatever I want throughout the day. And, the only person who gets carte blanche to just, anytime she wants is my wife. Anytime that she wants to get a hold of me, she can, and she can get through there. Everybody else is going to wait till I check and respond in the time that I can respond to things. And that's how you need to structure your life as a business owner. Put your family as that top priority. They can get in whenever they want. I think that's a very healthy thing, actually. And when you do that, by the way, they're not going to feel neglected. They're gonna honor that time. That's what I notice is people will start to honor that when you give them that, and you show that you're not prioritizing other people over them in your relationships. This has really helped in our relationship, my wife and I, is me prioritizing our time and her being able to get a hold of me as well. And so for you, again, I'm still working on it. For you, doing that, not putting other people, your business or your family or your friends, and not letting people just pull at you all the time, especially in a digital world. It's social media. That's how people are pulling at us. It's our smartphones. That's how people are pulling at us. All the notifications, all the things that we're hearing, all the little dings. They're designed, these smartphones are designed to be addictive in that way. They're actually designed with the little red, the red number in there is something that triggers the human brain to say, I need to look at that. It's an emergency. It's kind of eerie when you think about it, when you study that. There's actually a great book on this topic called Indistractable. I'm going to leave a link to it in this post. Changed my life. Highly recommend it to anybody that is building a business, doing a business, or is even living and alive and breathing in 2021. It's about breaking free from the distractions of social media, of the digital world that we're living in. Listen, I'm on social media, but I believe that we need to not be just controlled by it, right? And whether we use it as a tool to reach our goals. And that's what I use it as, is as a tool. I like scrolling on the news feed as a time for relaxation, but I'm not always looking at my notifications, right? And so just rearranging our life in that way to where we're not reacting to things, but rather we're responding on our terms, on our timing. We're having boundaries around technology is going to change everything for you. And so check out that book, Indistractable. I think it's really going to